Hello everyone, welcome back. I brought in this Chinese elm trio. If you've been watching my videos, you'll see that I planted these two. This tree's been on these rocks for quite a while now, a good few years. But it was kind of, the tree was up here on top of the rocks and it was quite plain down here and quite boring. So I added another couple of trees. This was one that I kind of, again, one of these rescue trees, very bad roots on it, which were kinking round and stuff, and so we used it on there. And this one was one that I took an air layer off the top. It was one of these big S-shaped ones, which I didn't like, so I took an air layer off the top of it, so this was just the bottom half. So I just put these on it just to kind of give it a bit more life down here, because it was very kind of like rock, and then the tree was right up the top. Okay, so I want to give them all a pruning and see some of these shoots getting really long now. Just a kind of a hedge prune basically, just clip it all back a bit. Maybe give these a little bit of shaping now. They're starting to fill out, so I start trying to create some kind of pads with them like we did with these. So we're going out before I get started. My daughter's friend went to Japan and she brought me back this scroll from Japan, so that's next. So we hang it up there, it'll help hide some of that stuff behind me. Yeah, so thanks Ellie for that. So thank you Ellie. Yeah, it's good to have something back from Japan. Don't know if I'll ever get there, hopefully one day, but okay, so let's get on with the pruning and tidy this lot up. Now I'll go with my scissors with the kind of bit longer blade for this, and like I said, I'm just going to go in, just basically hedge prune it, just a quick pruning, just to kind of tidy it all up, get it all back into some sort of shape and order. We can do any, like the others, any branch sorting out at the late stage if and when it loses its leaves. These out there, shooting down. That's the great thing about these Chinese elms. You can be as fussy as you want and as detailed as you want. Go in, which I do often, and prune every branch to outward facing leaves and stuff, and that gets them into proper, get the pads growing proper. And then if you just want to do a quick prune up, you can just basically do a quick hedge prune on them, and it works quite well at keeping your pads tight and your leaves small. See, the leaves on these are pretty small, and if you leave these shoots grow, they can get pretty woody, pretty long, and you end up with very long internodes, and sometimes you get pretty big leaves as well. So I just like to kind of keep on top of them, not let them get too bad. You're chopping up big branches. I'll still kind of create gaps between each pad, whether it be above and below or side to side. Like I always say with these Chinese elms, don't be afraid to prune them. The more you prune them, the tighter the pads you'll get, the smaller the leaves you'll get. As long as they're healthy and growing good and strong, once you see them growing with long shoots like this, then you know they're good and healthy. You can prune away. Like I said, they respond well to it. Just send out more and more shoots, and then you get thicker and thicker pads. This tree, when I got it, had really bad long roots. It was growing on top of a shelf in a garden centre right up the top. Its roots were all hanging out the pot. It was very weak, it had very little leaves on it. Just had branches going out about a couple of foot from the tree. Very long into nodes with only a few leaves on them. So I basically brought it home. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with it because of the long roots, so that's why I planted it over these rocks. These are 3 rocks cemented together. I just tied the cement to kind of hide it, and then basically chopped every branch off it and started from scratch. I also chopped the top off. The top was very kind of weird shape, so it has a big chop up here where I chopped the top clean off, so it was just a stub on the top, but they do fill out quite easy. So yeah, like that, I just basically grew it then from all the branches from scratch, and just keep pruning them back and pruning them back, like I will do with these, you'll see in a minute. How I kind of prune them back and then just keep on top of it. And eventually you'll end up with pads like this that are just thick with leaves, good and strong, and you can just kind of basically like that, just hedge prune them every now and again to keep them in shape. Just to create gaps between each pad. Space them down. Okay, we're getting. Let's see how quickly I can do it once they're like this. Like I said, I could go in and do a real detailed pruning, sorting out branch structure and stuff, because in here now there'll be a lot of branches crossing and things, so I can go in and sort that out. But when they're this thick in leaf, it's not easy, but if I had to I could. I just have to kind of clear it right back as tight as I could, and go with my pruners, clip out some branches. But I only kind of need to do that if I see a problem. Right now I don't really see any problems with this one. It's going quite well. Just go in like this. I always say the gaps between the pads are as important as the pads. You need to make sure you have gaps. That's how it makes it look more miniaturized, rather than having one big solid mass on the top. Create all these kind of smaller pads with gaps in them. Don't know when you can see it there, but I've created a lot of gaps in between all these pads. Okay, so I think that's kind of lit up enough. I'll bring in the camera so you can see, if you can see that easily or not, all the gaps in it. This 16-rod branch, I could take even more off and make it even more gaps, but I don't think it needs it right now. That's enough for now. Like that, I prune it quite often, so I can kind of, you don't have to worry about prune it right back. Okay, so let's have a look at these and see, can we start them on a bit of a styling journey. Let's bring the camera in a bit. So this is basically what you start off with. They're all growing long, so we need to be quite brave. Take them back. Now you want to be trying to aim for outward facing leaves with these, so that you are creating pads with them. Anything growing down, you can take off completely. So my idea here is to have this as a pad here, and another pad down here, say. And you'll only get that if you prune. You've got to prune them. You don't really have to wire them. They grow so well. They grow in whatever direction you basically want them to grow. So it's not difficult to create pads. Just clip them to outward facing branches. Okay, so now you basically see we have a pad here starting, and you have one up here starting. Now maybe we'll get one up the top here. So we want one kind of up here. So for now, I'm just going to prune the branches back like this into a kind of rough shape. And as they still going for outward shape and outward facing leaves, as they grow, we can thin them out. Pick which ones we want, and eventually we will end up with, based on this tree, eventually we'll probably end up with a pad down here, kind of out here somewhere, maybe one up here, one at the back, an apex up here. We'll let this kind of grow forward, and a pad at the front. But like that, we'll break this pad up, we'll break this pad up, and we'll break them all up once we get it filled out. So all I'll do is I'll just keep pruning that now, pruning it as it's growing. Let it grow a little while, then prune it until eventually you end up with pads like on the big tree, full. Okay, so this guy on this side, we basically got a pad down here that we're gonna go with. You can see, because this one's been pruned a bit more, you've already got the start of a pad growing. Let's take off all these. Let's take it off. Just kind of hedge prune it a bit. Back off. Okay, so you can see there already that we're already starting to create a pad here. That's just had a little bit longer than these ones, but yeah, so that's what you want to do up here again. Same thing. Everything out from underneath. So we have basically a second pad there. Back here, again we'll prune to outward facing leaves. can see the big chop there where I took the top off. Okay, and now we want to kind of build some sort of an apex up here. So what I'm going to do is just not go too mad with this. Just take it to about here for now, because we still want this to grow up a little bit and fill out. So there we will have the start of another what we're going to let this grow out more, fill out, maybe grow even higher, and then when these pads, again like this one up here, we'll divide them up. We'll get this pad filling out more out here, so we end up with a boom 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 down like that, and the same on this side. We'll have one up here, boom boom boom, and layer them kind of down. Okay, so that's about it for this one. Yeah, I think that's more or less done. I think I will bring in my other big Chinese elm, and we'll give that a quick pruning as well while we're at it. But just as from a distance there now, you can kind of see how they're these are already starting to fill out, and they're going to create nice little trees. This one, like I said, once it's filled out, boom boom boom, layers, and when they get them filled out like this, then we'll have 3 trees different heights. So yeah, I think that'll look good in the future. So let's go and grab the other tree. We'll give that a quick pruning. Okay, so here's my other big one, my other big Chinese elm. So I may as well give that a quick going over as well. You see there's some of the branches really starting to shoot out now. So again, we'll just give it a quick hedge pruning, tidy up some of these long ones, just get a little bit into shape. Let's raise that up a bit again. Okay, this one is not growing as strong as that other one. I think I probably could have repotted this, to be honest, this year. Should have done, maybe. But next year we'll repot it. This one also is up on a pedestal, so it's kind of a lot more in the weather. It's a lot more of the wind and what have you. The other one's a little bit more sheltered, and with the very dry hot weather we've been having lately, this one might be getting a bit too much, too hot, too dry, because it, like I said, it could do with repotting. But it's still going pretty good. Not as rigorous as the others. So, this is a back branch. This. So I want this to continue coming out. It's filling out quite nicely now. That's just a twig, and I bent it round so that you could see it from the front, kind of coming around the back branch. You just see it there coming out. Still want it to come out another bit. I'd probably swap these over with the other one. If I could, let this one have a bit more shade, but I don't think that other one would be great up on a big pedestal because of the weight of the rocks and that, and in the wind it might just blow off, so for safety I won't. This one's still growing well, it's just not as vigorous as that other one. The other one got repotted, more recent, so fresher soil, better drainage. Didn't notice this one isn't draining as good as it should. Can probably repot it now, to be honest. These guys are pretty resilient. As long as I was careful what you have to care, but like I said, it's not like it's dying or anything, it's still growing well, but just have to remember next year to repot it. Does have pretty horrible roots, but I just haven't got the courage now to chop them off. Probably should have done it at the start, that's what I do now. With my trees, when I get them first, that's the time to take the chance with the roots. You haven't dedicated years of training and everything into the tree, and then need to cut off the roots. You can see the roots on this one. They were kind of folded in the pot. This one comes and folds back under itself, and this one the same. Could maybe cut this one off, but I think when I repot it, I may repot it deeper. I don't know about this root. I'd love to get rid of this root. This one, I don't know. It does have a big strong one. I'll have to see underneath when I take it out of the pot what it's like. Roots are like under there, because yeah, the roots are not great. There's not a lot really I can do with them unless I go chopping them big roots off, which would be a bit of a risk now, but we'll see. Maybe there's plenty of root in it that it would survive. More strong growth up the top here, so this will help balance it out a bit, reducing all these big long shoots. You can see the length of some of these. Get rid of some of them off, take the vigor out of them. That will also probably help with the growth of the rest of it. That's more or less it. A couple sticking up in there. Again, I can go, this pad is starting to fill out. I can go and start dividing this up into smaller pads, clean out all the inner bits, stuff like that. But for now, it's okay. It's just, this is just basically to slow down them big long shoots to help the rest of it get a bit more bigger and stop them long shoots taking off completely on me. Okay, so I think that's done. Yeah, that seems okay. This was another tree I chopped off. I did a big chop up here, took the whole top off, grew all this top. This is all new top. The chop I did was in here. I don't know if you can see that in there. Right in there. That's where I took the top off it. And I grew this because it was the same thickness the whole way. Just kept going. So I chopped the top off and then I grew one branch up and grew all this then as the new top. But yeah. So it's still not great that it's this thickness all the way up to here. But it is what it is now. And like I said, we'll have to do a repot on it next year definitely. Okay, so I think we'll leave it at that for this video. Just a quick one, just to give these guys a quick pruning up. Just keep them tidy a bit. So that's it. So as always guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.